Hi there, I'm Vincent Boss and I provide dating and self-improvement advice. And in today's podcast, we're going to be discussing Dumpees, please respect this. I provide audio coaching for breakup recovery, trying to get an ex back, attracting someone new, and life coaching. Visit www.dateme.tips for more details. Please check your spam and junk folders if you are expecting an email from me. So now let's get back into today's podcast, and today we are discussing Dumpees, please respect this. So if you have been dumped and want to try to get your ex back, you need to respect certain things. In today's podcast, I'll be discussing 3 things that a dumpee needs to respect. So let's get straight into this, and point number 1 is your ex's decision. So if you're a dumpee and you want to try to get your ex back, then respecting your ex's decision to end the relationship might sound a confusing element that you need to abide by, because if you respect the choice of your ex-dumper to end the relationship, then how on earth can you one day get them back? But there is method to the madness, so please listen on. And that is when you consider the position that your ex-dumper finds themselves in, you will then start to realise of why you need to respect this decision to end the relationship. At the time of a breakup, your ex-dumper is feeling a very low level of romantic emotional attraction for you. And you can only try to reconnect with your dumper if you raise that level of attraction that they feel in their mind towards you. So you have a choice at this stage of how you behave, how you proceed. Do you behave in a way which is likely to annoy and frustrate your ex? Or do you behave in a way which your ex is likely to think, okay, they're respecting my decision, that's kind of good. I didn't necessarily think they'd do that. Okay, maybe I'm starting to think a little bit better of them. Now, I know I'm simplifying it greatly here, but it is absolutely true that if you don't respect your ex's decision, you're going to be frustrating them. They have made a choice to end your relationship. They're not feeling enough attraction. That's why they've done it. They haven't done it for any other reason other than the attraction they once felt for you, sadly, is no longer there. It doesn't mean it can't come back, but right now, it's not there. It's not present. That's why they end the relationship. And when they tell you it's over, if you refuse to accept this, if you keep chasing them by texting, calling, knocking on their door, you're going to be annoying them. This, of course, isn't going to help you. You will now start to see clearer that if you want to try to get your ex back, you need to accept and respect their decision. Because if you do this, you are starting to rebuild in your ex-dumper's mind that you respect them, that you listen to them. Now, although this might take a long time into the future, and sadly, not all dumpees will get their ex back, what you will start to see is if you start to build the trust between you once more, this could be the first step towards one day reconnecting with your ex. Now, of course, not all of you have been dumped because of a lack of trust. Not all of you have been dumped due to elements regarding not listening to your ex or not respecting their choices within the relationship. But ultimately, at this point, this is what you can influence. You can influence your ex's thoughts regarding if you are listening, if you are respecting, if you are accepting. So even if your history didn't showcase you as somebody who didn't listen, didn't respect, and your ex therefore just couldn't trust you, it doesn't matter whether that was the reason or not that they lost the attraction. What matters now is that you're moving things in the right direction. And moving things in the right direction from this point is you understanding what they're saying, respecting their decision, and almost saying to them in your own words, look, if you ever want to speak in the future, just let me know. And at that point, you move forward with your life. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't say your piece at the breakup. Of course, if somebody ends a relationship with you, you can say at the time, I don't want this to end. Can we try and fix this? I'm sorry if you feel that you need to apologise for something, etc., etc. But I'm talking about when the dust has settled. When the dust has settled and they've clearly made their decision and made their choice, you must respect their decision. So when we're talking in today's podcast about what a dumpee needs to do to try and increase the chance of getting their ex back, and when I'm saying, dumpees, please respect this, Point number 1 is Dumpees, please respect your ex's decision. So now let's get into point number 2 and the second point of today's podcast. Please like this video if you're watching on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. And point number 2 is if they block you. So again, we're looking at the perspective of a Dumpee and things I believe that a Dumpee needs to respect. And point number 2 is not a situation that every Dumpee will find themselves in, but sadly, a fairly high proportion will, at one stage or another, find out that they've been blocked by their ex. A Dumpee might find out they've been blocked by their dumper instantaneously. It could be days, weeks or months down the line. Or maybe they had absolutely no idea until they were informed by a third party, such as a friend of a friend, saying, hey, did you know you've actually been blocked? You might not know until you've been told. You might not know until weeks into the future. You might know instantly. But if you find out you've been blocked, you need to respect this. Now, of course, if you find this out yourself, it showcases that you've been trying to communicate with your ex, or potentially you was clicking on some type of social media profile and it was therefore obvious that you've been blocked. Either way, I would suggest that you shouldn't be looking at these things and you shouldn't be trying to contact your ex in most instances either. I strongly believe that in most situations, if you've been dumped and want to try to get your ex back, you should never contact your ex again unless they contact you first. So if you're a Dumpee, this means most of the time, unless your ex-dumper reaches out to you, you shouldn't be reaching out to them. So you shouldn't even be trying to send a message to therefore find out that you've been blocked. If you're clicking on their social media profiles, and maybe you're thinking, well, I had no intention of actually messaging them, but I wanted to look at their profile and I can now see that I'm blocked. Again, this isn't going to help you doing this anyway. So this is why I always suggest, if you've been dumped, please don't check your ex's social media. It's not going to help you. At best, it's going to confuse you. And at worst, it's going to break your heart again. And in this scenario, you've found out you've been blocked. So if you're trying to message them, or if you click on their socials and you find out that you've been blocked, then this is where you might become very frustrated, or potentially you might not be angry per se, but you just think, right, I'm going to find another avenue to reach out to my ex. Because in this day and age, there are multiple ways to do so. Now, you might think, well, I'm blocked via my phone number, but I'm not blocked on this random social media platform that we friended each other on a long time ago. I can use that messaging service instead. I would strongly suggest you don't do this, because if you've been blocked, then in my opinion, you've been blocked on everything. You know, even if your ex hasn't actually blocked you technically on every single possibility, if you've been blocked on one, imagine you've been blocked on everything. You shouldn't be reaching out. You shouldn't be looking at their socials. You shouldn't be in this position anyway. But if you try and cheat by blocking, if you try, whether it's through frustration and anger, or if you just try to send a message via another method, this is unlikely to help you. Now, if you get angry, I'm sure you can see when you think, in retrospect, this is not going to help you in any way, shape or form either. If you try and reach out and start using bad language, saying, why are you blocking me, and swearing or something, you know, this can be clearly seen how it's not going to help you reattract your ex. Now, maybe you don't want to do that, and you're just going to pretend you don't even know you're blocked, but you're just using a different method that you found out you're not actually blocked on. Well, if you do this, it's going to frustrate your ex. They've blocked you on A, B, and C. Just because you found D, it doesn't mean that you should be doing this. Again, going back to point number 1, when I was speaking about it would frustrate your ex if you don't respect the breakup, let me tell you, it's going to frustrate your ex if you find a way of contacting them, which is the one possibility that they forgot to block you on. Now, what's likely to happen if you do this? Well, most of the time, you won't even get a response. So it's not going to help you, and it's not going to make your ex think about you any better either. Now, if your ex does reply, unfortunately, it's not likely to be positive. Again, this isn't moving you any closer to getting your ex back. What about the possibility I said at the beginning of point number 2, regarding of if you actually find out via a third party that you have been blocked? What happens then? What happens if a friend tells you and says, hey, look, did you know you've been blocked? And you think, well, I didn't know this. I wasn't trying to message them. You know, I didn't even know because I'm not looking at their socials. If you find out via somebody else, your initial reaction is probably going to be frustration and maybe upset. Again, you shouldn't be doing anything with this information. You know, I would actually ask friends and family right now and just say, look, if you ever find out anything about my ex, I don't want to know. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, I don't want to know. Because if you find out any additional information, such as you've been blocked, it's likely to annoy you, and it could push you to do one of the things I've just mentioned, trying to find a way to message your ex for good or for bad. It's not going to help you. So when we consider point number 2, when we consider about dumpees, please respect this. Please, please, please respect if they block you, because it doesn't necessarily mean it's forever. It's not a good position to be in, but it doesn't mean you'll be blocked forevermore. I've spoke with many people via my audio coaching service who have been blocked when we first start speaking, and then maybe months down the line, they are no longer blocked. Now, of course, this isn't a guaranteed scenario for everybody, but it showcases that things can change in your dumper's mind. So you need to try and stay as positive as possible, focus on your own journey, and not cheat the blocking. Now, if you want advice and support about how to try to increase the chance of one day getting your ex back, then you may want to consider my audio coaching service, where me and you can speak one-on-one about your unique specific situation. Go to my website www.dateme.tips for more information about how I can become your coach and your teammate via my audio coaching service. So now let's get into point number 3 and the final point of today's podcast about dumpees. Please respect this. And point number 3 is your ex's new date. Now listen, not all of you are going to be in this position, and hopefully it doesn't happen to you, because if you find out that your ex-dumper is dating somebody else, this can be very painful to hear. And one of the initial reactions you might have is that you might be very frustrated towards your ex's new date. Maybe you know them personally, maybe you know of them. Whoever it is, if you find out that they're now dating your former partner and you want your ex back, this frustration can sometimes boil over to you as a dumpee, maybe reaching out via social media, or maybe via text if you know their number, or maybe face-to-face if you bump into them. And it could be a scenario which isn't very positive, to say the least. You might say some harsh words, you might tell them to leave your ex alone, you might be saying this, that, and the other. But again, we need to be thinking, is this going to get you any closer to getting your ex back? Is your ex going to find out that you've had a go at their new date, and are they now going to think, you know what, I think I'm going to reconnect with my ex? Okay, you can probably see from this position right now listening that this isn't going to help you. Now, yes, maybe you will feel that the frustration that you managed to get off your chest makes you feel better in that moment, but it's not going to help you moving forward. It's not going to make you feel like a better person, I'm sure, and also it's not going to help you get your ex back. If your ex finds out about this, they're more likely to get closer to this new person as a way of almost protecting them from what you may be saying, whether it's in text, whether it's in person. Your ex-dumper is probably going to be almost protecting their new date rather than moving further away from them, which is, of course, what you want to happen. You want them to break up. But if you have a go at their date, this is not likely to occur. It's also not likely to make your ex-dumper think better of you, which is the running theme through today's podcast. We're talking about trying to increase the chance of getting your ex back. And that's why I'm saying, dumpees, please respect this. Please respect your ex's decision. Please respect if you've been blocked. And please respect your ex's new date. If you bump into them, just smile if you know who they are, say hi, and keep going. I don't suggest you stop. I don't suggest you cross the road and put your head down. That looks awkward. That makes you look low value. It makes it look like that you're bothered. I know you are bothered, but that's not going to help your cause. If you show yourself as not being fazed by this, you're going to be a much more attractive option if and when these two people split up. Because here's the bonus. Your ex-dumper is very unlikely to find the next love of their life anytime soon. In my opinion, it takes at least a year of being single, often more so, to find a new connection which could be compatible long term. Anybody that they find soon after the breakup, meaning not just weeks but months, would be deemed as a rebound relationship, and it is unlikely to last the test of time. So if you find out that your ex is dating somebody new and you want them back, the best thing you can do is focus on you and not focus on your ex-dumper or their new date. Because if you treat them with disrespect, you're not going to get any closer to getting your ex back. You need to just let them go through the motions And if and when it gets to that stage where they break up, if you've behaved in a positive, confident way, moving forward in your own journey, your ex-dumper will probably look at you in a much better light than when they dumped you, and certainly a much better light than if you'd had a go at your ex's new date. If you believe that this podcast has helped you, then please consider buying me a coffee. The link to do so is in the description.